Liverpool are reportedly following Kone from Mönchengladbach. An update has surfaced about Liverpool and their interest in Kone in the current January transfer window. Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano explained that the Reds are one of the few teams to follow the talented Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder. Many top clubs are following the French big talent Kone. The player, the managers, and Gladbach were said to be most likely the plan to move. Bayern, Newcastle, PSG, and Liverpool are well informed about Kone's situation, said Romano. Earlier this season, it was reported that Mönchengladbach was seeking a fee of at least €45 million for the French player, and it remains to be seen whether FSG is willing to sanction a deal at that price. Liverpool has never been able to replace the consistent presence Wijnaldum has provided at the heart of their midfield. Problems with Jürgen Klopp's midfield have been evident this season. Names like Thiago, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Harvey Elliott, and James Milner have all been tried and changed. No player has started in the central midfield more than 13 times in the Premier League. During his 5 years at Anfield, Wijnaldum played 33 or more league games each season for the Reds. Liverpool missed just one game in the last 2 campaigns of his career. The Dutchman was a reliable passer with a career pass hit of 88.5% and chipped defensively for Liverpool in midfield with 1.5 tackles and interceptions per game throughout his career. Kone is a similar player in the sense that he is not the scorer or the creative type in this position. But he is also a composition passer who can shuffle and regain the ball for his side. The 21-year-old has completed 87% of interference passes in the Bundesliga this season and has 2.9 tackles and tackles per game for Gladbach. Talent scout Jocek Kulig once called the duel under construction a monstrous cast. He described Kone as a one-man army after a game against Bayern Munich in 2021-2022. He also started 14 of his club's 15 Bundesliga games this season under Daniel Farke. After joining the team and making 25 starts in 2021-2022, and this shows that Wijnaldum has the potential to be a reliable and consistent presence in midfield as he has for Liverpool. That's why Klopp could rush to sign Kone this month or summer, replacing the Dutchman who left the club in the summer of 2021. Kone is not the only Bundesliga midfielder with links to Liverpool, who has had Jude Bellingham on their radar for some time. Still, the Reds continue to search for different alternative names. Because in addition to Jude Bellingham a few midfielders are needed. Kone could be one of them. The only problem that might come in the way of the Reds is the fact that his long-term contract could mean the player could be a bit on the expensive side. Because many top European clubs are showing interest in the Frenchman. Liverpool needs someone who can join the club in this window and fit into the thick of things and get on the road as soon as possible, as the situation is too difficult for midfielders to even be seen as a fan. While talks with Roberto Firmino were progressing positively, confusing proposals emerged. There were some fears that the addition of PSV's Cody Gakpo meant the impending end of Bobby Firmino's Liverpool career. However, an update by Florian Plettenberg seems to have made it clear that this is not the case, despite rumors surrounding his potential exit from Anfield. Of course, there are links with Saudi Arabia to consider, and the threat of a potentially lucrative bid, as implied in another journalist's cryptic online message. One of Liverpool's strongest players this season, the number 9 has undoubtedly saved his status and could prolong his future on the sidelines. The contract term is expected to be short-lived, however, given his current age and the relative decline in the roster. The player seems content at Merseyside, which will find a way to encourage a mind meeting at a time when other teams can start discussions on a pre-contract deal with Firmino. After achieving everything at Liverpool, it is of course normal for the Brazilian to take on a new challenge elsewhere. But if he is kept at the centre-forward beyond the summer window, there will be more confidence in his offensive abilities. He will also be a precursor to the newly recruited Gakpo. Although it is reported that the negotiations with Firmino are progressing positively, it is a fact that there are offers that may confuse him. It has been reported that Liverpool forward Roberto Firmino has received transfer offers from Saudi Arabian clubs, but has not received transfer offers from Cristiano Ronaldo's new team Al Nassr. However, it is reported that only Saudi clubs are not interested. According to journalist Jose Alvarez, Barcelona manager Xavi Hernandez really likes Firmino, who has seen his prominence at Liverpool take a hit in recent months. Transferred from Hoffenheim in 2015, Firmino made nearly 350 appearances for Liverpool and scored 107 goals in total. The striker has been key to their success under Jürgen Klopp. The German tactician insists he wants Firmino to stay at the club, while the recent acquisitions of Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunez and Gakpo raise questions about whether the Brazilian has a spot on the sidelines. And Barcelona seem to be watching the situation closely, as their manager, Xavi, is a huge fan of them. Barca continue to be in financial turmoil and will once again explore the free agent pool to strengthen their roster during the summer. A new centre-forward will be on the agenda for Xavi as they need to bring in a suitable replacement for Robert Lewandowski, especially as Memphis Depay will be saying goodbye in the near future. And in this context, Firmino will be an interesting option for current La Liga leaders if he decides not to sign a new contract with Liverpool. However, Klopp continues to insist that he wants Firmino to stay at the club, and the possibility of extension remains a strong possibility. Do you think Bobby should stay on the team? Liverpool have 11 days of transfer opportunity, as Jürgen Klopp may be forced into another U-turn. Fenway Sports Group and Liverpool stand out with their low-budget moves in the market. But they have become more reactive and less stubborn when it comes to recent decisions. Liverpool, for example, did not intend to sign a centre-back until the end of the 2020-2021 season, but have made late deals for Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies following Joel Matip's injury. Meanwhile, the Reds have moved a window earlier than they expected for Gakpo this year, in part because injuries to Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota have left a huge gap in the left flank. The signing of Arthur last summer was ostensibly a response to the hamstring that Jordan Henderson suffered, but the reality may be a little different. Liverpool had come under great pressure to bring in another midfielder after only 2 wins and 1 convincing performance in their first 5 Premier League games. Jürgen Klopp had expressed his belief in his pre-existing options, but at a press conference in late August he conspicuously admitted he was wrong and the media was right. Liverpool's 3-1 loss to Brentford on Monday could be the latest trigger for the club to take action. Liverpool are aware of their weaknesses in the midfield. But once again they may have to deal with it sooner than expected. The consequences of inaction are becoming more and more obvious. The defeat at Tech Community Stadium perhaps brought out the fact that, as Jamie Carragher said, Liverpool had no chance of making the top 4 without a new buyout. Liverpool have a valuable 11-day window on their hands as they play earlier than the rest of the league this week. Even if they can't get a new midfielder out the door before they face the Wolves in the 3rd round of the FA Cup this weekend, they can actually offer plenty of practice time for newcomers before heading to the South Bank for more meaningful play. Before the clash with Brentford, Klopp defiantly insisted that Liverpool would not be able to play Monopoly after adding Gakpo to their ranks and seemed comfortable with the prospect of no further additions. But after watching his side's dismal defeat in West London, perhaps he and FSG may be forced into their second U-turn of the season.